my impression is definitely, well, I'm surprised about it. It's such a strange thing to have worked a lot in a project, and this project has a lot of details. So I don't know where to look. I'm kind of like looking right, looking left, looking down. I even forget things I've designed. It's kind of like far away. At the same time, I'm totally like overwhelmed by the beauty of how it's built and done, and it feels I've been working with them, very near all the time, even though we were distanced by the moment we're living, and by the fact that I was totally on a lockdown in Spain and they were in England, building these. It's quite amazing that it's so understandable, and it's like perfectly done. So pretty much very grateful surprise, I would say. Yeah. Well, basically the guts of the table are really important, because like I wanted a table that it doesn't really occupy so much space within a house. So I'm pretty much in the limits of what can pass through a door in a normal house in a city. Yeah. At the same time, it's done that that you have a mechanism that is so complex, like a little bit of a I said it's like a Swiss knife. Yeah. You sort of take out certain elements to improve its usability, and the idea of being flexible through a moment in which we need to do a lot of things which are very different, like dining, like having sharing moments, with eventually your family, having private moments, the table detaches suddenly, and then it becomes, totally for a person and not for everybody. So it's this very crazy sort of table that it's built up of a need, of a very personal need, and it's the way I wanted this table to be in my situation. So down, yes, it is to discover. There's a lot of things that you will, you will see. There's spaces for pencils. There's, attachment to tables. There's little exits in which you can, display some things and not worry about them yet, you just can leave them there and then focus in another part of the table. So the table has this ability, as well as having shelves and things which are down, just kind of like put there and then you can put up. So this is a little bit how the table works. It's a very, very mechanical table. This is actually why I call it, this crazy name of being a Mesamachine, yeah, because it's like a machine. It's not a mesa anymore, even though I find it very elegant and very refined, because of the type of material and the elaboration. But, in general, I'm really happy with the fact that it's just full of surprise. If you start to look, you'll find a lot of closets and things, definitely. The most difficult part of this table is actually the fact that it has a lot of mechanism in it. And it needs to feel light. It needs to feel pretty much easy by the eyes. But at the same time, you have tons of different movements going right, left, inserting, getting out of the actual shape of it. So, this fact and the fact that it's solid wood, it is very, very challenging. Wood is a natural material. It moves. It's not like a fake material. It's a material that has life, that it has a certain type of humidity, a certain type of behavior through the changes of weather. Already being in Madrid, which is humid, being done in England, which is, Madrid is very dry, but if you think about England, it's like much more humid. So the changes in between humidity and dryness would already affect the fact of the table eventually being cracked or something like that. So it has a lot of challenges in the way of how is it built. And I think we actually undertook a lot of dialogue, as well as a lot of drawings and a lot of details, through sketches, through actually determining those challenges. And, with the design intelligence and with the fact of elaborating solutions and seeing if it works or not, this is the way we actually made it. But it is an extremely complicated table. It's not easy at all. You have to be a top of the list wood shop, to be able to build these, and you have to use very rich and very perfectly dried wood to be able to make every single detail that these pieces have. So I must say it is fascinating how even online we would be able to make something so particular and so elaborated. So this is the big challenge of it. Also distance, obviously, which is we didn't see our faces, we have a limit. Reality is very different, huh? Opticity, when we look at something, I can now see a few things I would maybe make a little bit different, but I'm satisfied anyway, at the 99.5%. But we're always looking for perfection. So when you're here, you see it different. Yeah? Well, this wood is a fantastic material. It's actually very sophisticated, and it was used in many years by very good architects because of the beauty of its elaboration. It's a bit reddish. It conserves this sort of dryness, this sort of beautiful color, no matter what you're cutting through it. It has this appearance which is a bit reflective sometimes, so it gives this sense of, I wouldn't say luxury, but I would say it gives this sense of, of sophistication, even though it's a humble material. So I find the cherry wood a material that is very, very, very powerful to make your pieces even better. I worked with a lot of wood through all my career, 20 years nonstop. And I can tell you that the cherry is probably one of my favorites, though I didn't find the right partner till now to be able to elaborate such a piece. So I'm very delighted about it, and I see the perfection of it through the work, the reflection. The fact that you can make very, very soft little surfaces, very thinner surfaces, and still be very strong, very powerful. Nothing to say with the fact that we have areas that have 4 or 5 centimeters, which actually are fantastically solid, and this means strength through generations. This is why this material is amazing. It's actually a pleasure and an honor to work with it. It's very, very pure and sophisticated.